Hey guys, welcome back. Now, with the crypto market absolutely crushing 2024, it's time to talk about the plan to maximize profit from this market cycle. Now, for many, it's not until the Bitcoin halving, which is still 1 month away, that signals the start of what everyone is waiting for: crypto summer. Now, this is the most exciting part of the 4-year cycle, and it's where the most money is made in the shortest amount of time. However, it does open up some big important questions that we all need to answer. How high will prices be going in this cycle? When do I sell and take profits? And when is the best time to buy back in? Firstly, quick disclaimer, remember no one knows the future and you should never just copy off one single person. Everyone's situation is different. Now, I have been investing and pretty much following the crypto market every single day for about 7 years. And so this video will be my plan and answers to those big questions. And so we'll be covering an overview of my crypto journey so far and the biggest mistakes, and so you guys can avoid them. Then we'll cover my personal sell targets. When do I plan on exiting in this market cycle? Then, is it better to dollar cost average or lump sum in and out? And then we'll finish with when is the best time to get back in the market. And so buying as low as possible, ready for the next market cycle. Okay, so first up, let's take a quick look at my crypto journey so far, the biggest mistakes made, and my current crypto portfolio. And so here's the quick overview of my crypto journey so far and how I've come to be irresponsibly long. So back when I started, which was round about here, we didn't have this stock to flow chart. So I had no idea what had gone on before, and the fact that we were just in the final blow off stage. So I invested, and then quickly my money had doubled. It then tripled, it then quadrupled, all within 6 months. And if I'd have bought back in here, then everything would have been fine. But it was the blow off top and I didn't sell. And then went on into a massive sell-off and deep crypto winter, where I lost about 80% of the money. So the big lesson here in this cycle top was not selling, and mostly is that I just didn't have any knowledge about the crypto market, where we were in the cycle, and so got caught. Now at this point, again, no idea that there is a cyclical 4-year cycle. Crypto wasn't as developed as it is now, so we didn't know that it was gonna come back. But obviously, as it did come back, everything was okay. I did manage to accumulate a little bit more, but not too much. And then we went into the next massive run-up. Now, at this point, consensus, including myself, we thought that it was going to be blasting and chasing this $100,000 level. And so after the first big crash here, I'd switched my Bitcoin into altcoins and then went through arguably the worst crypto bear market and crypto winter that we've had so far. Now, although this was another very painful experience, when you've already been through it and you've lost 80% of your money and you've seen it recover, as I was following the developments of the crypto market, I could see it was very likely to recover. So even though it was a lot more money and everything was blowing up, I was still more optimistic, and it wasn't as bad as the first time around. Now, I was planning on selling my flat and investing the money. Now, the market bottom would have been absolutely perfect, but unfortunately it got delayed. But I did start accumulating and managed to really build up the portfolio in this section here. Luckily, just in time, as we've now gone through an excellent recovery. So the big lessons for me is being able to sell and get out of the market. That is going to be a key focus for me this time around. Now, when I say irresponsibly long, I ain't joking. This is my current net worth. It's 98% in digital assets with the remaining 2% in cash. Now, even though it's only 2%, this still makes up about 1 year's worth of expenses. However, as you can see, there is a very large bet on digital assets. And it's mainly, as I explained, I've been following the crypto market, the news, the developments from all around the world every single day for many, many years. And for all the people that have watched these videos that come out every couple of weeks, there is an unbelievable amount of crypto adoption that's been happening over the weeks and months. And this is what has given me the confidence to pretty much go all in digital assets. And as we break down the portfolio, this is what it looks like. So the biggest slice is Ethereum, and the amount of times in the last 6 months that people have been saying Ethereum is dead again, I was not in this camp, and I do think Ethereum has at least another great cycle to come. Next is Coinbase. The great thing about this is that I'm using a UK ISA, which in the US, the closest thing I think is a Roth IRA. It's basically tax-free. So this entire portion of this portfolio, when it comes to selling, will be completely tax-free. And I think that's why the Bitcoin ETFs are doing so well, because all the people that can put it into a Roth IRA are going to get tax-free gains. So it's worthwhile paying the fee. Now, next biggest piece is optimism, so the Ethereum layer 2. And in hindsight, this is the position that I should have just kept in Bitcoin. It's taking on a lot of unnecessary risk. There's a lot of layer 2s out there, so me magically picking the best one is very high risk. This portfolio is already altcoins, which is high risk in itself. Now, the thinking at the time was the market cap was about 1.5 billion, and I thought it could easily get to 10 to 20 billion. However, if I could change one thing in hindsight, I just don't need to take this risk. And next we have Avalanche, and I am a big fan of Avalanche, and even though lots of people are saying that Solana is going to be the big darling of this cycle, and it probably will outperform Ethereum, I think Solana sitting in position 10 is probably going to outperform Solana. So as you can see, it's irresponsibly long, and it's made up of altcoins, which is why I need to be early in and then early out. Now, just taking a quick snapshot look at the crypto market, here we have Bitcoin, and what an insane run that it's been on so far, and it's just broke back above this previous all-time high. So what I'd like to see from Bitcoin, this is the halving here, is it to build a base and stay above this previous all-time high. That is going to be very important over the coming days and weeks. If that happens, then the next narrative will be Ethereum. So Ethereum will then be on the cards to reclaim its all-time high. And as of right now, it's still about 20% away. Then, once Ethereum has reclaimed its all-time high, people will then start to really look at the altcoins. Next biggest by market cap for me would be Solana. And for Solana to regain its all-time high, it still has about 70%. And this will probably, once all eyes are on the altcoins, this is going to happen very, very quickly. We have Coinbase. And Coinbase, similar picture, but to get back to its all-time high, it's still got about 70%, so the same as Solana. But then, as mentioned, it's Avalanche, AVAX, that I think is going to surprise to the upside. As even from right now, just to get back to its previous all-time high, it's 175%. And once all eyes go back to the altcoins, this is going to happen very, very quickly, in my humble opinion. And then, as mentioned, with optimism, it's actually already surpassed its previous all-time high with it not being that old. So this is the one, ironically, that I'm least optimistic about. If it wins big, it's going to really win big. We've got the Denkun upgrade happening today, but that is what I see happening to the crypto market over the coming weeks. Now, this really is one of the biggest questions that we all must answer. When do we sell and take profits? And it is going to be different depending on everybody's situation. Some people just buy Bitcoin and they plan to hold it for 5, 10, 20 years. And that's absolutely fine if that is your plan. Some people just like to dollar cost average, and they'll dollar cost average all the way through the ups and the downs. That's absolutely fine. When it comes to my personal position, I plan to completely exit the market and use that money to buy a property that the family will be living in and enjoying every single day. That's just my personal situation. So I'll be exiting the market, and I have 3 sell reference points. I've got a time-based one, a Bitcoin-based one, and a portfolio value-based one. Now, when it comes to time-based, it will be between April 2025 and October 2025. And the question is, why these dates? Well, basically, looking at this chart, and this is the halving that goes through the middle from here. When we look at the previous 2 cycles, it topped out about a year and a half after the halving, and the first one topped out about 12 months after the halving. So 12 months after the halving and 18 months after the halving. So this is 12 months after the halving being early and 18 months after the halving. So this is where it comes from. And ideally, I'd want to get out as early as possible to take the least amount of risk. Now, if it came to April, I wouldn't necessarily just sell on this because the market can go through huge runs and huge crashes. So if we've just gone through a massive crash as April hits, I'll probably wait later in this 6-month period, but I will also cross-reference it with what Bitcoin is doing. So this reference point is Bitcoin being 2 times its previous all-time high. So we just hit the previous all-time high, which was around 70K. So this gives a figure of 140K. So one thing I noticed is that the market is giving diminishing returns each time. This one went up about 300x, this one about 100x, this one went up about 20x. So based on the assumption that this one tops out around 10x, this would give a figure of about 150,000. And as mentioned, Bitcoin 2 times its previous all-time high is at 140. So around this figure, I think, could be the market top. So in combination, if Bitcoin is already back to 140,000 or above, and then we're in this 6-month period, that is enough for me to then sell. However, if Bitcoin gets to this 140K in the next 6 months, I wouldn't necessarily sell. I would wait until we get into this period. So it's going to be some kind of combination between the two. However, if my portfolio value hits £1.5 million, which is just under $2 million, this would also just trigger a hard out, and I'd come completely out of the market, as this would be enough for me to win this market cycle. So this one, a monetary value, would be a hard out, regardless of where we are in time and what Bitcoin is doing. And so this is what I'm keeping an eye on as the weeks and months go by. Now, let's just quickly cover, should we dollar cost average in and then dollar cost average out, or should we just lump sum in and then lump sum out? Well, quite a while back, I did a full video where people like Vanguard and Fidelity had crunched the data and shown whether it was better to DCA or lump sum. So simply go to my videos, go to the search function and type in DCA if you want to see the full analysis that was done by those companies. However, the TLDR is that on average, lump sum investing outperforms dollar cost averaging. However, there is one big benefit to DCA, and that is a psychological benefit. You will feel better and you'll feel like you're actually doing something with DCA. So psychologically better was DCA, but on average, you make more money lump sum. So bearing that in mind, the reason I'm not dollar cost averaging out of the market is because I have a plan for the money. And the problem is, if the market is setting all-time highs and then you sell 20% and it's setting highs and you sell 20% and it's setting highs and you sell 10%, you've still got 50% of your money in the market. And then obviously, if you've mistimed it and there's a downturn, you're waiting for your next sell target, which ultimately never comes. And it just means half your money is still in the crypto market and you're having to hold on to it and go through another crypto winter. And this is something that I just don't want to do. So I'll be lump summing out of the market. So that covers that. And then finally, when is the best time to get into the crypto market? Well, again, if we look at the previous two cycles, I generally don't like to look at the first one as it's not a complete cycle and it was so far back. So if we base it off these two, the market crashes and it bottoms out. Both times it happened exactly around about 1 year. So it was 1 year after making its peaks. So as the market comes crashing down, as I believe it will do again, even with the Bitcoin ETFs, it's about 1 year after the crash. There's a 3-month period, which historically has been the best time to get in. And as mentioned, you're probably just better off just buying Bitcoin. With the crypto market absolutely crushing 2024, it's time to make a plan to maximize the profit from this market cycle. For me, when it comes to selling, I have 3 reference points, one being time-based, one being Bitcoin-based, and one being monetary-based. As I'm clearly completely irresponsibly long, my plan is to be early in and then early out. Research done by Vanguard and alike show that lump sum investing does outperform dollar cost averaging. However, DCAing is going to make you feel better psychologically. And finally, when it comes to getting back in the crypto market, historically, it's been about a year after it makes its cycle top. And one big lesson is to just buy Bitcoin and ride it all the way back to the previous all-time high. So there you are, guys. That pretty much covers my entire plan for this next 18 months. Let me know your thoughts below. However, just remember, to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments, we are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.